A devastating car crash left Caleb Howard with a major brain injury. Naturally, then, his father wondered if his son would ever be the same again. But then a therapy dog came along and changed everything. At only 6 years old, little Caleb nearly died in a horrific car accident. In June 2007, Caleb's mom, Janine, was driving along Highway 89 in Utah with 4 of her children when an oncoming truck hit them. The truck's driver had, in fact, fallen asleep at the wheel. The force of the impact flipped Janine's car and killed her and Caleb's brother Matthew. And sadly, Caleb's sister Esther later died in hospital. Miraculously, however, Caleb and his older sister Rachel managed to survive. Needless to say, the deadly incident rocked the Howard family. Thankfully, though, Caleb's dad and adoptive brother, John DeVores, weren't in the car at the time. And though Caleb had survived the crash, he remained in critical condition. Indeed, he had suffered a traumatic brain injury as well as a broken leg and arm. Of course, experts worried about his brain injury the most. The impact of the head-on collision was at such a sudden stop that the tissues in the brain slammed against the forearea of his skull and back, Caleb's dad, Ben, explained in a 2009 YouTube video. All through his brain millions and millions of cells were killed, he added. In fact, it was hard to tell how much Caleb would even recover. Indeed, there was a possibility he wouldn't make it at all. And with progress difficult to judge, Ben admitted that he wasn't hopeful about a recovery. However, Caleb did make some progress. Caleb has improved substantially, Ben wrote on his blog 2 months after the accident. He remembers things before the accident and events after. All body parts are moving. He began to speak words and small phrases. To help aid Caleb in his recovery, his medical team agreed to introduce him to a therapy dog. Often, such animals are used to help victims of traumatic brain injury. And physically, the highly trained animals can help patients balance, retrieve dropped items and even get dressed. Moreover, the dogs also often have a positive impact on patients' mental health. Indeed, they can serve as positive motivators and empower patients to complete tasks. Furthermore, therapy dogs provide companionship to victims of brain injury who may feel isolated or depressed. Of course, anything that could help Caleb recover was worth a try. So that, in fact, was how the youngster met his therapy dog, Colonel. And it only took a few seconds for the lovable pooch to have a positive effect on the little boy. Recalling the moment the pair met, Ben said, "It was a real boost to me to see such a substantial change in awareness. It was kind of a turning point, for me personally, in my confidence that Caleb could recover." With Colonel at his side, then, Caleb regained some movement in his hands. Moreover, his grandmother, Alaura, noticed he was more alert. And, according to his dad, Caleb was also rediscovering his smile again. To have something much more engaging like the dog is really helpful, Caleb's occupational therapist Lisa Barnes explained. Sometimes children don't have control of their body, so the trick is getting them motivated to move. If you watched Caleb, you could see his motivation to try and pet the dog. Just 1 month after his first meeting with Colonel, Caleb's recovery was astonishing. And not only was he much more aware, he was also able to walk and talk. Moreover, he was able to stretch more and grab things with his hands. Suddenly, even a full recovery seemed possible. What made Colonel so special, said Ben, was his ability to take Caleb's mind off of his predicament. We're in a hospital environment where nothing is normal. When an animal comes in, we're not in a hospital environment anymore, we're in a play environment and the child forgets about therapy and is focused on play, he explained. Caleb has since been released from the hospital and has fond memories of his time with Caleb. Speaking in 2009, the boy had just one word to describe his four-legged friend: awesome. And he's not the dog's only fan. A video documenting Caleb's inspiring journey has since been viewed more than 8 million times on YouTube. Furthermore, More than 300 people have offered words of encouragement to both Caleb and Colonel in the video's comments section. This is beautiful. Caleb came a long way on a tough road. I hope he continues to do well. Service dogs are wonderful, read one. In 2016, Ben posted his own update about Caleb on the site. I am pleased to share that after 8 years and over a dozen horrific surgeries, Caleb is doing great and is attending regular school now and achieving very good grades, he wrote. He has been a great example of courage to his family and many others. We will never forget Colonel and his wonderful handler Susan, the proud dad added. That same year, Caleb himself also took to YouTube to write a post about himself. I wanted to just say thank you to the thousands of people who have reached out, he wrote. It makes me feel special and loved. Caleb also revealed that his family now have their very own furry friend. After his release from the hospital, the brave boy got a dog and named her Star. Now, he'll have a best friend at his side as he rebuilds his life and enjoys just being a kid for the first time in years.